Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. In today's video, I'm going to go over the portfolio. I'm going to show you all the buys, all the sales in the month of September, and I'm going to try to make this video short, but I'm going to talk about a couple of individual companies as well as that, as well as of course showing you the entire portfolio, inshallah. So if you like this type of content and of course you're enjoying what we're doing here, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know if you have any questions. As always, every month I try to give you an update to all the buys and sales because I want to be transparent. I want to show you exactly what I'm doing, inshallah. And as you can see, the portfolio is down quite a bit for the month. It's from almost, from coming from all the way 81,700 to right now where it is, which is about 79 and a half. Okay, 79,500 pounds. So I want to go over the entire portfolio, but before we do that, we'll start with the buys and sales first, and then I'll go over the entire portfolio, and then I'll show you the income for the month of September from the rental property as well as the dividend and the entire dividend. If you have not seen the dividend breakdown, all the companies that paid me and how much they each paid me, watch the last video that where I talked about that. But before we do anything else, I would like you just to bring your attention to the basically Patreon account, which is basically one of the ways that helps the channel. So if you can actually look into this and maybe join us if you can, okay? But you've got the Sharia compliant investing ebook, you've got all the trackers there and everything else in the inshallah. So join us if you can, that will be absolutely wonderful. Now I'm going to start with the buys and sales first, as like I said, and if you haven't liked the video already, please do so because it really helps the channel. Now these are, you can pause the video and have a quick look, but for the month of September, the only sale I made was Cisco. I sold half of Cisco last month, and the other half basically I just sold it in the last about a week ago, about 2 weeks ago. Now the reason for that was because it wasn't the company was absolutely terrible, but there were similar companies in my portfolio, and I just want to basically create a very concentrated portfolio that I can manage inshallah in the long run. And Cisco, although it's doing okay, I didn't feel like it was actually, the purpose of it wasn't, there was other similar companies basically, so I just took the money and put it into Procter & Gamble. So I added to public storage, I added to Qualcomm, I added to AstraZeneca, RB, Rio Tinto, tiny bit of it, and then Procter & Gamble, and then Nike is tiny bit. Now this is down quite a bit in public storage, okay, and it's one of the companies that I want to talk about now. And from earnings perspective, the company is actually doing really well. So we're looking at public storage now. So you can see it's growing, the business growing up really nicely, and of course the revenue is also growing from $4.4 billion to in about basically $5.18 billion in the next basically couple of years. So of course it's a REIT, of course they pay a lot of their money as a dividends and so on, but the business is growing, okay? And this is one of the REITs that I've actually come across that haven't not got that much debt, so I would love to hold this company for a long run. The ratings, in terms of ratings, you can see basically the three. So Seeking Alpha is actually saying it's a buy, Wall Street and Quant is both actually, sorry, hold, and then these two are saying it's a buy right now. And I actually do agree, and I've been buying it here and there wherever I got the chance. Qualcomm is another one. Qualcomm has been down for a long time, and I'm still down. I'll show you the entire portfolio in a second, but I added 4 shares basically in the last few weeks. AstraZeneca, I really like the company. I want to build a massive position in this, at least a 5% minimum of basically about this company. I stopped buying all the other pharmaceutical companies and just concentrating on this one for now. I still have others, so I'll show you in a second. And RB, of course, is one of those companies that I want to get to at least 100 shares, like I've said to you guys so many times. So I will be adding to it inshallah as we go along. Rio Tinto, I haven't bought much, but I'm going to buy more of it. And if you go and watch that video, you see how much basically they have paid me in the month of September. It was absolutely wonderful. Now I've basically took all that money and put it into Procter & Gamble because I realized the two companies are kind of similar in terms of growth side of it. Of course, basically they're two different companies and two different industries and so on, but in terms of growth side of it, is actually Procter & Gamble is actually a wonderful company. It's been around for a long time. I wanted to build a huge position of this company, but lately because I haven't bought it because it felt like very expensive, but because the overall market being down in September, I decided to take the opportunity and actually add it to it. So I've bought about 8.7 shares, which rounded to up to all my shares to 30 shares, I think. I'll show you in a second. And then of course Nike is still down, so I added a little bit of that. Now I'm going to show you the entire portfolio. So that's basically all the buys and sells for the month. And as you can see, I've actually spent about £1,000 for this month, and that was my target, and I'm going to continue doing that every single month. And then when we get closer to the end of the year, especially when we get closer to April, I probably will not be able to maximize my ISA. So around it, basically closer to April time, I actually start buying more. I'm hoping that the markets will be down by then. But then again, that's when I try to buy more, because I'm trying to maximize my ISA account. But as you can see, I've spent just over £2,000, and that adds about £62 of dividends in the long run, inshallah. The reason I would like to show this to you guys, because it's not all about the dividends, but by adding that 61, hopefully by buying all these shares, they will now be, of course, the companies will increase their dividends in the next few years, and then of course that builds up that compounding effect, inshallah, in the long run. Now let's go back to the portfolio, and I'm going to start with 3M as usual. 3M, for some reason, I need to check what's going on. It's down almost 4% today. So again, is there another bad news coming? Whatever it is, I'm down 33% right now. But so we'll find out exactly what's happened today. But this is one of the companies that I'm definitely gonna get rid of sooner or later, because it's just bad news after bad news. But it's recovered recently. I think it's gone up as high as $108 per share at one point, and $112 per share. But again, my average is $144 per share. I don't even know if I'm ever going to see that. But right now, I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to keep holding on to it until hopefully I can break even or whatever. So I'm just going to leave it, collect that dividend, see what happens. The dividend is actually decent, £40 plus every single month, every single quarter. So we'll see anyway. So for now, I'm not touching it. I'm going to leave it. Air Products and Chemicals, again, another great company that I've had in portfolio for a long time. I haven't added to it recently because I don't want to average up, basically. But I know this company, in terms of cash right now, in terms of free cash, they're not the best when it comes to free cash. So I'm just going to hold on to the ones that I have and leave it. Their dividends are absolutely safe, okay? But the company has their free cash flow, last time I checked, was actually quite low. ASML, I would love to buy two more shares of this company. I might as well do maybe in the next few weeks and see what happens. Because now I'm down 5%, I actually wouldn't mind adding to it. AstraZeneca, like I said to you guys, I want to build a 5% minimum position for this company going forward. Automatic data processing, I haven't touched it in ages. It's come down a little bit in this basically last couple of weeks. So it'll be interesting to see if it comes back down again to basically my price target. And if it does, of course, I will be adding to it. Broadcom, I'm definitely not going to touch this company. It's really undervalued at the moment. In fact, let me just check. I think it is undervalued because just looking at Seeking Alpha, right? Look at that. It's basically buy and a strong buy. So it does seem undervalued at the moment. But the thing is, I'm already up to over 85%. So there's no way on earth I'm going to average up, knowing that I've got other companies that I can buy right now. Cummins, another one that is basically, I'm waiting for it to come back down. I've got price target. So inshallah, if it hits that price target, I will be buying more. Home Depot, still sitting there. I haven't touched it. I'm not going to buy Home Depot anytime soon. I think I'm just going to leave it for a bit. If it comes down again, maybe 5% or so below where it is right now, I'll probably look at it again. This one here, this iShares World Islamic, I love the ETFs, but you know what, I just need to put more emphasis in these things, maybe moving forward. I haven't touched it in ages. So 26 shares, I've had this for now for about 5 months or so. I might start buying it soon again. So I don't know, we'll see, inshallah. Their dividends, I think they paid their dividends in around November time, so I might start nibbling here and there just to get a little bit more money on that. And then, but right now it's done really well. I mean, it has to come down a little bit with the overall market, but it's done really well, about 12% up since I bought it. J&J, another company, if it comes down, I'm going to round it up to 40 shares, inshallah. So I'm waiting for it hopefully to come back down. My current price is 159, my average, sorry, $159 $159. Let's call it 160. Right now it's below that. The reason I'm up is because of the FX impact, so 9% of that. So it has come down below my target, so I'm waiting it maybe just to come down back down a little bit more. So maybe the next couple of weeks I'm going to focus on J&J because I do like the company. Medtronics, I haven't touched it in ages. Like I said, I'm focusing more on AstraZeneca. That's portfolio kind of management. It's not because they're in the same sector. I don't want to basically overload myself with this same sector, and like similar to what's happened to me when it comes to industrials, for example. So that's why I'm buying more AstraZeneca, leave this one out, leave Merck completely, and then maybe a bit of J&J here and there, so just to hopefully balance things out. Microsoft, like I said in one of the last videos, I'm not touching this company again for a while. I'm up 55% right now. Okay, so for that reason I'm gonna leave it over £1,400 up right now. Nike, yes, definitely buying more of it in the next few weeks. Palo Alto, I think Palo Alto, it might still be undervalued, so but I would be buying a little bit more, but 13% up right now, so I don't want to basically up my the average price right now, so I'm going to leave it. Procter & Gamble, definitely will be buying a bit more here and there whenever I get a chance. Public Storage, 100%. Qualcomm and RB, as well as Rio Tinto. I will be buying 4 of these companies, inshallah, moving forward. All of them are undervalued at the moment, and Rio Tinto is one of my favorite out there in terms of dividends, so I will be adding, inshallah, here and there where I get the chance. S&P Global has come down quite a bit. I'm hoping that it will come back down again, or another 5% or so. I want to get to 20 shares like I've always said to you guys. Unilever, I'm definitely not touching it. I've got 100 shares. I'm going to leave there and collect that dividend. If it comes back down again, it'll be a lot more, because right now it's only $4. It comes maybe $3.50 pounds per share, whatever, then I might be looking at it. Okay, Union Pacific is another company that has come down quite a bit. I would love to have at least 30 shares, so if it comes down 5% or so, I will do the same. This one has gone down 11%. I haven't even noticed. I just looked at it yesterday and I was like, wait, hold on a second, I'm actually down about 11% of this one. But again, I'm not buying more industrials. Okay, if I buy it, it will only be Union Pacific, just so I can round it up, inshallah. And then finally is Visa. Visa is basically one of those wonderful companies. I think it's undervalued at the moment, but I'm not averaging up, inshallah. So my plan is look at the companies that basically I'm down on a lot, and then average down instead of buying a Microsoft or whatever other companies and averaging up. That's my target. Of course, sometimes it's inevitable because some of these companies will come back down, and then although I'm up, they might be undervalued, so it might be a good opportunity for me to add. So I will be doing that. Whatever I do, I will always share with you guys. I will always be honest and transparent. Every single one of these companies is now Sharia compliant, apart from 3M. If you look at Zoya, now, I'm not using Zoya in terms of that 12 months. I'm using 24 months, 36 months for a reason. I'm looking at the S&P Global, Dow Jones is basically Sharia compliant side of things, because Zoya you will end up buying it very expensive and selling it basically when it's cheap. So you're going to lose a lot of money if you're focusing on 12 months, because a lot can happen in 12 months, but 24 months or a year, that basically, or 3 years will be better. So that's one of the reasons. And if you're interested, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go to the Sharia compliant ebook, and there's a section on that where I've actually mentioned that, so you can actually use that, inshallah, moving forward. Again, I'm trying to be transparent as I possibly can. So one more thing to talk about for the month of September. Okay, this is my rental income. So this is how much I received. I pay £66 to the rental management, including the VAT and so on. And last month, for the month of September, it broke my heart, but I had to replace the boiler. The boiler was gone. It's been there for a while. I knew it needed replacement, so I went to see the house. Basically, when did I do that? July, I think. July or August. And when I visited, the tenant mentioned it basically looked like it was leaking a little bit, and a few weeks later it was definitely leaking, so we had to replace the entire thing. But the good news is, alhamdulillah, for 25 years I don't have to do anything, inshallah. So when you replace it once, you leave it, and that was the only major thing that I had to do lately. So of course I had to pay extra £945, and luckily, alhamdulillah, every single penny that comes from the rental income, I add it to my family portfolio, so I knew I can easily pay this off. So alhamdulillah, I paid that off, and that is one off, inshallah, moving forward for the next 25 years. Now, so that kind of reduced the whole thing. So again, I was negative £945 for the month. But if I add just my rental income as well, my dividends that I've received this month, if you haven't watched that video, go and watch it, because that was my biggest dividend I've ever received. Between the two, I've received £836.89 in dividends and rental income. That's a passive income that I received. I was really happy with this. Okay, of course I had to pay this off, right? However, I really basically was happy with this. And if I can continue, inshallah, doing this, if I can get this to the similar sort of a thing, I know September is basically one of my biggest, but it can happen. Okay, so inshallah, in the long run, you never know what's going to happen. But of course, if I can get 200 plus every single month, and inshallah one day get to a point where this is basically similar to my rental income, and get 1,000 plus every single month from my rental income and the dividends as well, that will be absolutely wonderful, inshallah. There you have it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys today. You've seen all the buys, you've seen all the sales, you've seen my rental income, you've seen about the expenses that I had to pay for this month, and everything else, inshallah, I will be sharing with you guys. I would really appreciate if you can join us on the Patreon account to help the channel, inshallah. I've got a lot more videos planned for the next couple of days, inshallah. I will be releasing as soon as I get time, inshallah. Have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum.